The Diesel shoves. Dubón continues the hit streak, and the Astros shut out the hottest team in baseball for a second straight game, a third straight quality series win. That's right. We'll talk about this on tonight's Locked On Astros.
Alvarez hits a high drive center field. Bierling's back. This game is turned upside down. There's the runner. Fly ball down the right field line. Tucker comes on. Kyle Tucker. This time they finish the job.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can we find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
All right, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being what we call an everydayer. That's somebody that listens to our podcast every day, whether the Astros win like they did today or whether they lose like they did the first game in the series. But we're always here to talk Astros baseball. Make sure you also listen, make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Check out the Locked On Astros podcast. And don't forget about the World Series rematch this Friday night. That's right. We're going to be playing the Phillies at Minute Maid Park, and you can listen to all the home team broadcasts on Sirius XM, and just go ahead and search for the SXM app and go ahead and search Astros, and you can go ahead and listen to all the play-by-play action on Sirius XM. So I'm excited about that series, but I'm excited about the 5-1 road trip that we just had. And what we did against the Blue Jays as well. I mean, these teams that we've been playing were some of the best teams in baseball, and the Astros just seem to rise to the occasion. They all rise to the occasion.
No, we're not. I see what you did there. We are not going to go with that mantra. That can stay up there up north where they like to lose in the playoffs, the Yankees, I might add. But, dude, after getting beat by the Tigers early on, struggling at home, to go on the road, you're like, okay, this is a tough part of the schedule. I was like, if we go 500 on this road trip, I'll be happy with that. We went 5-1. And not only did we go 5-1, the last three games we were without Yordan Alvarez, and the team still found a way to win. A 1-0 shutout, I'll take it. A 5-0 shutout the game before, I'll take it. The Rays have been the hottest hitting team in baseball, and Hunter Brown, Eric, went out there and did an absolute masterclass of a job against this Rays offense. I mean, Wander Franco, even Bethancourt's been hitting. This team has got some hitters. Diaz, Arozarena, who's been the hottest bat in all of baseball. And look, dude, 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and 8 strikeouts. What more can you say about the Diesel? The kid is dealing, and he's 3-0. I mean, I know we talked about Javier being a early favorite for Cy Young preseason. Hunter Brown may work his way not only into a Cy Young conversation, but he could work his way into the Rookie of the Year conversation as well.
Yes, definitely. And I know this is the Tampa Bay Rays were one of the best offenses in baseball. And you saw how much the Astros pitching was kind of hot and cold. And then at times you're like, who are these guys? Where are the good Astros pitchers? Well, they're here. I know game 1 wasn't really a prime example. You had Jose Urquidy. I think he only pitched 2 2/3 innings, and you had Seth Martinez kind of filling the gaps. But then you had the next 2 pitchers, Luis Garcia, and then Hunter Brown did what he did today. And he was very efficient. He was very effective, and he was keeping them off balance. And I know that on the broadcast, they were talking about there's another pitcher that throws the same way Hunter Brown does. It's not Justin Verlander. It is Jacob deGrom. And so so with his power stuff, his power breaking pitches, and it's just hard to catch, to hit him when he's on. And he was on today, and he was throwing 97.7 pretty consistently. He was hitting in the upper 90s. So this guy was just lighting up the radar gun. He was keeping Randy or Rosarina. I feel so bad for him. As good of a player as he is, he's looked lost at times in this series. But the Astros offense, you can't really say they did a great job in this game. I mean, you only won 1-0, and that one run was scored on an error by Wander Franco. And that's one of those plays that's like, dude, you got to make that play if you're a Rays fan. But thank God they made that play. And in a second, I'm going to have to talk about the Rays' choice for pitching in this game. And I mean, I know it was just kind of a weird situation. We'll have to talk about this whole opener situation.
So Hunter Brown, I want to show this. I'm loving Baseball Savant's new set of stats. And if you look at this right here, this shows a chart. And if you're listening, you'll have to go to YouTube and check us out. It shows how fast he's throwing each pitch, his knuckle curve between 80 and 85, his splitter between 85 and 90, then his slider between 90 and 95, and then his four seam between 95 and 97. And they break it down for you, and they show you each grouping, each pitch grouped in its own quadrant. I want to look at this four seam fastball from 93.3 to 97.7, and look at this knuckle curve. 85.5 miles an hour down to 79.5.
You know who that reminds me of? Royals.
Who's that?
He used to have that big gap in his fastball and his curveball.
Yeah, and so you love to see that. This kid was absolutely dealing on the mound, and you need to do that. And at times, I'm sure as a pitcher, it could get frustrating if your offense isn't necessarily picking you up. But they got the one run. They got the one run early. So they had the lead. It was one of those you had to walk a tightrope, but he only gave up 2 hits. He was missing barrels, 12 swings and misses today. And like Mr. Richard said, there were no home runs in this series by the Rays. The Rays, who had hit 22 a home run in 22 straight games, got blanked on the home run board by the Houston Astros.
That's why after game 1, I wasn't too super discouraged. Yeah, I was disappointed with how everything happened, but I knew that the Astros, by limiting the home run ball, and I know Lance McCullers talked about it after game 1 too. He said, you know what? We broke their homer streak. Now we're going to break their home winning streak. And that's what they did. Now they're on another losing streak now, the Tampa Bay Rays at home. So the Astros are a legit team. They're a sleeping giant. They're a team that was kind of treading water, as Dusty Baker called it, as they're trying to find their balance. They're still trying to find some consistency from first base, but Jeremy Pena looks like a totally different guy hitting second, and that's where he should be. I know when Michael Brantley comes back, he did not play today, but so far with the AAA Space Cowboys, he's 2 for 5 with a walk, but he did not play today. That was a planned day off, but when he comes back, I'm sure Dusty Baker is going to want to bat him second just because he's Michael Brantley. But Jeremy Pena is just so much better hitter, not leading off, but hitting second. I can't explain it. I don't think anybody can explain why he's so much better hitter.
It may just be a mentality thing. And while we talk about Jeremy Pena, the member of the fan club I'm a president of, Mr. Dubón, says, hey, what about me? What about Mauricio Dubón? I was going to
save that for a second segment, but since his face is here, hi, Mauricio.
But, here's the deal. Not to take anything away from Pena. Not only did Pena's bat work today, 2 for 4, Eric, at the end of the game, he made a game-saving stab, I think, a grab, and it was his glove. He's a gold glover. He is a legit major league shortstop. He's the kid that we talk about all the time, came into camp and said, I'm not trying to be Carlos Correa. I'm trying to be me. And when he struggles at the plate, he takes on a lot of criticism. I doubt he hears it, but let me tell you that he is a guy that you can count on. And if you have a car or a truck and you need a place that you can count on to get parts the right parts, the right fit, the right prices, I want you to go to ebaymotors.com. For a championship team like the Houston Astros, it's all about making sure every player is a perfect fit. It's the same when it comes to your vehicle. Every part needs to fit just right. So when Yordan Alvarez is out or when your rotors are out, you need to go to the right place, eBay Motors, where they have the eBay guaranteed fit. You can be sure that every part that you get that you need fits for the first time. That's right. Just add your ride to My Garage. Look for the green check to know that it will fit, or you get your money back. Because just like sports, confidence is the name of the game when you shop at eBay Motors. The Houston Astros, they had no doubt going into the last 3 series they could win. And when you got over 122 million parts to choose from, you'll be back in the game in no time. After all, it's easy to bring home a win when the right parts are guaranteed. Get the right parts, the right fit, and the right prices on ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay guaranteed fit, only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items apply. And eligible items only, exclusions apply.
You know who else is riding high right now? Let's talking about your guy, Mauricio Dubón. He's joined a exclusive club in Astros history, the 20 hit streak club. Tony Eusebio, he's not the leader of that. That's Willie Taveras with 30. But this guy is doing stuff that I don't think any of y'all, I'm looking at all y'all watching this. Nobody predicted the season that Mauricio Dubón is having so far. And it's great. We all wondered who was going to replace Jose Altuve while he's out. And David Hensley, he's not having the best season. And part of it is probably because he's not playing. But just imagine if maybe Dubón wasn't hitting like this. What would you be doing at second base? So thankfully, Doobie, as everybody calls him, is doing so good. 20-game streak. So you want to know who he's joined this with? It's the 15th hitting streak of 20 or more games in Astros history. It's the first, you talked about this yesterday, since Hunter Pence's 23-gamer in 2011. I miss Hunter Pence so much. But Willie Taveras, Jeff Kent, Tony Eusebio, Hunter Pence, Moises Alou, Luis Gonzalez, Art Howe, Cesar Cedeno, Miguel Tejada, I don't care how old he is, Lance Berkman, Dickie Thon, Lee May, Kevin Bass, and Rusty Staub. So that's the names on that 20 hit streak. 20 games.
So that is an exhaustive list. And look, Eric, see, I did. Back on the 15th of March, I did say Dubón will get a 20-game hit streak.
Bull. Bull.
I actually just wrote that. No, I didn't have that on my bingo card. I didn't have Jake Myers changing the leg kick on my bingo card. Look, this club is the king of adjustments. Mauricio Dubón is playing with the confidence of 1,000 men, and I absolutely love it. He's seeing the ball well. He puts the ball in play. He rarely strikes out. And that's right. No one had this going. And like I said yesterday, Tony Eusebio's streak was unique because it took like 2 months to get it because he wasn't an everyday player. Willie Taveras, leads with that 30 game, which is the longest. And that's a streak that I would love to see broken. Mauricio Dubón does it again, 20 games. That's amazing. When Jose Altuve comes back, the question is, how are they going to get Mauricio Dubón in this lineup on an everyday basis? Because there's a lot of people who feel like he has earned that.
And I think the easy answer, unless Jake Myers and Chas McCormick Jake Myers is earning playing time. We don't know what's going on with Chas McCormick. I know he's going to start making some rehab appearances, but I think you're going to see him as a Marwin Gonzalez type role, a Ledmus Diaz type role, where he plays maybe some second base, maybe some at shortstop, maybe even some at third base. Maybe he'll kind of go around the outfield, but maybe you just put him in center field more often than not. And Jake Myers is doing great. I know he had a hitless streak today, but he was batting 300 before today. He's batting 281 right now. So since the toe tap, he's come back. The offense has come back a little bit for him. So Corey Jolks, a lot of Astros had an offer today. I'm not too worried about that. But your guy, your guy, Yainer Diaz, the guy that every time he starts as a catcher, the Astros win. There you go, Brett. Are you happy? Are you entertained?
Well, are you not entertained? This is Sparta. So I'm being accused by my co-host of being a Yainer Diaz guy, but on Twitter I'm being accused of being a Maldi truther. So I clearly cannot play both sides of the coin, right? Um, Look, Yainer Diaz, this is what I think needs to go on with Maldi and Yainer Diaz. Maldonado is the catcher. He is the starting catcher. Y'all need to build a bridge and just get over it. That's not going to change. I would like to see Diaz get more starts other than Hunter Brown. I think it'd be nice for him to catch Framber and Hunter. Yeah, I would like to see that. Someone asked in the chat earlier, if Urquidy continues to struggle, do they flip the script where Urquidy goes to the back end of the bullpen and you move Hunter Brown up? That's something you would have to finagle with the scheduling and things like that. But Yainer Diaz, if he gets more plate appearances, he gets more time behind the plate, he becomes valuable, okay? He becomes valuable. My problem with the catching situation is if Maldonado is in decline, he still ranks high in some certain, defensive metrics, but he has lost a little bit of a step. He did explain all the past balls in Minnesota. He had a hard time seeing the balls going from the light to the shadow. But at the end of the day, Maldonado is the captain of this team. Nobody puts in more work, more homework, studies more, and has the confidence of the bullpen and the pitchers more than Martin Maldonado. And so with that being said, at some point, he's going to come to an end, his career. Why not give Diaz more starts? I think Diaz, I don't know about Salazar, but I think Diaz, if he's going to be up there, don't waste him on the bench. Yeah, okay, he'll be DH every once in a while. But when he was DH in game 2, he looked overmatched. He didn't look too comfortable. Behind the plate, I think he's more comfortable. He's kind of like Jordan. Jordan plays better when he's in the field. Diaz may play better when he's behind the plate.
Or Astros great Evan Gattis.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would hope that at some point he goes beyond that because, Evan was good when he was here for a moment, but I think Diaz has more upside. He just needs more playing time. Yeah. But it's okay if Maldonado's a starter. I just think Diaz does deserve a few more starts. So I guess I'm a Maldi truther and a Diaz defender. I'll take it.
All right, so we're looking at kind of the defense for the Rays in this series. Randy Rosarina made a bad read on, I think it was Corey Julks's hit double yesterday. And in this game, you had Wander Franco make a bad play that led to a run. So the Rays have been playing above their heads for all season. And I know a lot of y'all are going to say, well, who have they played? They've been playing all these bad teams. But you can't be, what's their record now? 20-3 just by beating up on all the bad teams. So they are a good team. But what the Astros did is they held them back with the home runs. If you hold a team back like the Rays from hitting home runs, that's how you're going to beat that team. Because they do single, through and homer. And that's how they win. Walk, single, through and homer. That's how they win a lot. And so I think by the Astros avoiding the long ball in the series, that's how they did it. And for the most part, they did so, for the most part, against the Braves. I know Matt Chapman kind of got them for a little bit in the Blue Jay series, but there's some players that have hit home runs, but the pitching has been improving outside of Jose Urquidy and a couple other rocky starts or maybe rocky bullpen appearances. But you're going to have some crappy performances sometime. You just got to move past it and see what's next. And what's next is the Rangers. How are they doing?
They just got swept by the Cincinnati Reds, and they might need some help. And let me tell you that this episode is actually brought to you by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a place where you can go if you are just realizing that maybe there's someone you could talk to. There are times when we need to go through life and we need someone to help us deal with the changes. It is all about, this therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness and understanding. because sometimes we don't know what we want or why we react the way we do. Self-discovery. And it basically, they go from where you are and take you to the place you need to be. If you are thinking about getting help, BetterHelp is the place to go. I've actually used BetterHelp, and they have an easy to use service. You can get it on your cell phone. You don't have to go to an office. You get to actually choose the therapist. If at some point in your counseling sessions you don't like the therapist, you can switch. There's no additional charge. They make it easy. It's affordable. And for our Locked On listeners, there is a discount. And when you discover your potential with BetterHelp, you visit betterhelp.com/lockedonmlb. You'll get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedonmlb. Go to BetterHelp. You won't be sad that you went.
Hey guys, I hate to go back to the 70s for this, but peace. Let's go ahead and let's leave Maldonado alone for a little bit. Let's move on to other topics.
Oh,
the chat is kind of going crazy about Martin Maldonado. So I do want to focus on what the Rangers are doing. They are now 14-10 with a .583 winning percentage. The Astros are now 14-11 with a .516 winning percentage. The Astros are 7-3 in the last 10. The Rangers are 6-4. And the run differential is plus 56 for the Rangers, plus 28 for the Astros. Now, who are the Rangers facing next, you ask? Well, they're facing all rise for New York Yankees. And so they're going to face that team. And the Astros are, of course, facing the Phillies. We'll talk more about that in tomorrow's podcast. But the Astros are basically a half game away from first place. And if the Rangers lose tomorrow night on Thursday, because the Astros are off on Thursday, then they could technically be tied for first place by the time we do a podcast. I don't know what time the game is tomorrow for the Rangers, but
so they're actually going against Garrett Cole, and Garrett Cole's been very good this year. I'll just be real honest. I don't think the Yankees are going to let the Rangers beat them, especially with Garrett Cole on the mound. Garrett Cole is doing Garrett Cole things, and they had a really solid win today. This guy is just really, he's really kind of pitching out of his mind this year. He is all of what Garrett Cole was when he was in Houston. He's gotten better. He got past the whole spider tack thing. But I love the fact that the Rangers are playing them, and I'm actually cheering for the Yankees right now to beat the Rangers. I would love to see the Rangers lose another series. And you know what? The Yankees may keep the Rangers from winning the April World Series. I think I heard they were setting dates and parade routes for the April World Series, but I don't think they're going to be able to do that now. Well, I'm just saying, look, the Rangers, no, I will not stop. The Rangers Twitter account did this to themselves. They put everything out there. There is so much bookmark material that I cannot wait to go back on come playoff time when they're sitting at home and we are marching our way to another World Series title.
Okay. All righty. So in other news, let's talk a little bit about who the Astros. I know we're going to go deeper into this, but on Friday, it's going to be Farmer Valdez versus Aaron Nola. That's pretty much a rematch of, I don't know if that was maybe a game in the World Series. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But this whole matchup is like a rematch of the World Series. And guys, if you want all the play-by-play action of the Astros, why don't you go ahead and try SiriusXM? You can hear the hometown broadcast. All you have to do is get the SiriusXM app. Just search SXM and search Astros, and you can listen to all the play-by-play action of this great matchup. So I'm excited for this, and it's going to be Saturday. It's going to be Christian Javier versus Zach Wheeler. And on Sunday, it's going to be Jose Urquidy versus Bailey Falter.
Oh, hold on, man. Come on, dude. Give him some love. I know he's been struggling, but hey, we're at home.
Home. I came up with a new nickname for Jose Urquidy. Jose, you're kidding me.
Jose, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like from The Office. Good old Kevin line.
Yeah, I thought it was game one of the World Series.
It was game one. Yeah, game one. Game 6, and ended up being Wheeler versus Framber. And that's when the game got turned upside down. If you listen to the intro, we make that famous every time we go on the air. But I'm excited about the Phillies coming to town. I'll be going to the Sunday night game. It's an ESPN game, actually. It's a nationally televised game. So it'll be nice for the Astros to flex their muscle. But look, Bryce Harper is out. He's down. Big news up in Seattle. Robbie Ray, done for the season. 100% donezo. I mean, he's out. He's out for the season. So Robbie Ray will not.
This, but does that mean that if the Astros face the Mariners in the playoffs, you can't bring in Robbie Ray to face Alvarez in
That's okay,
or whatever it was?
Well, let me tell you, we will not go 18 innings. Mark my words. CS almost win is not going to be a problem this year. Look, everybody was freaking out. Like, people were literally lecturing me about the Rangers. The Rangers are real, man. You got to respect them. I'm like, it's freaking April. They're like, man, I don't know. We're not the same team. We lost Verlander and we lost 2 to the Tigers. There's no way this team even wins. Maybe they win 92 games. Dude, get over yourself. It's freaking April. Like, chill out, bro. This Astros team is lined up perfectly. We've got guys that are on the IL that are actually, it's good for them in the long run because they come back. They don't have an entire season to get banged up. Brantley will come back. Altuve will come back. I don't know about McCullers. Forrest Whitley is pitching out of his mind down in AAA. You love to see that. You've got other kids making moves in the minor leagues. Look, the Astros are going to be fine when it's all said and done. Get this Jordan thing fixed. Now, we hope that there's not an IL stint because the Astros have said that they're waiting to get back to get the update on Jordan because they're not 100% sure what exactly is going on. They haven't put him on the IL. I'm hoping that they come back and go, okay, he got some rest. He's ready for Friday. But if he has to sit out a series, Eric, I say let him sit out. You just beat the Rays 2 games to 3 without him. Don't rush him back. It's too early in the season to try to hurt him even further.
All right. So in other words, they're going to kick Jordan Alvarez's tires and see how he runs, right? Basically.
Exactly.
So Chas McCormick hit again today, and Dusty said, we'll have to find out if he's ready or does he need a rehab assignment. He said he feels a lot better. And on Michael Brantley, he is off today after playing. We already talked about that. And he said, we'll see how he feels today. Hope he's not too sore. So basically, the moral of today, or the word of day, or words of day, is we'll see, because they don't really know. They don't know what's going on with Alvarez. They don't really know what's going on with McCormick, and they don't really know when Michael Brantley will be back. So I know the Astros just took 2 games against one of the best teams in baseball, one of the best offenses in baseball, without Alvarez in the lineup for any of those 3 games. And that is an accomplishment. That is something to be proud of as an Astros fan. So definitely shutting these guys out back-to-back nights, that is impressive. And for a rookie to do that, I mean, a rookie to come in and do that. And one thing, Brett, I'm getting off my soapbox. You normally get to do it, but I'm going to get on soapbox this time. Dear Rays, I know you've always been this big opener type of team, but if you have a guy like Fleming who can come in and pitch 6 innings, why do you have an opener? Is it because he's too scared to pitch in the first inning? Is that why you don't just have him come in and pitch 6 innings? The opener is so stupid. I mean, why do you have Farche, or however you say his name, come in and pitch 2 innings? I mean, I get it sort of, but the opener is so stupid. Just have Fleming pitch. He pitched 6 innings. He basically started a game. So anyway,
I don't know. It's just kind of the Rays way. There's, same thing when Dusty Baker gets questions, but I think there was a classic undersell with calling the Rays one of the best teams. Dude, coming into this series, they were the best team in baseball. Right. Not one of the best teams. They were the best team.
Right.
Capital THE. And I want to emphasize that they were the best team in baseball, not the Yankees, not the Dodgers, not the Red Sox, not the Blue Jays, the freaking Rays, right? They were on this historic tear. They won all these games at home in a row. And all we had to do was pitch our game plan, was go out and do the things we know how to do. And then we go and we shut out this ball club. And Joseph actually shares with us here, Eric, it has only been done 5 times in the last 10 years for the Rays to be shut out at home in back-to-back games. So we are doing things with this team without a full squad. Eric, we're a Major League Baseball. Let me put you on notice. We don't even have all our cats out there. We have that dog in us. And so if you think that the reigning champs had a World Series hangover, you have been put on notice. Yeah. April 26, 2023, you have been warned that this team is coming for a second title, and we are the reigning champs, period, end of story. So you can talk smack all you want to in April or May or June, but you better have longevity. You better have stamina, because this team is not coming to just break your backs. They're coming to take your soul, and we're going to win a second World Series with this team, because when we're all healthy, all hell is going to break loose.
All right, I want to have a little heartwarming moment here. The Pirates, I know we've all made fun of Pirates for many years. Now they're actually a good team, but they had a awesome moment today. Drew Maggi, he's a guy that's been in the minor leagues for 13 seasons. He's played in 1,154 games, 4,492 minor league plate appearances. He got his first major league start. He got his first call up to big leagues today after 13 years in minor leagues. How many baseball players would stay that long? But he did.
Yeah.
And he got his first major league hit today, and the crowd just started calling his name. And so that everybody recognized what a big story this was. So that's a little heartwarming moment there.
No, yeah, definitely. And dude, you want to talk about heartwarming? I mean, what the Pirates are doing right now is heartwarming. I mean, they are on top of their division, Eric. The Cardinals are on the bottom of their division.
Right.
I mean, look at this, dude. Pittsburgh's 17-8. The Cardinals are 9-15. The Pittsburgh Pirates are leading the Brewers right now. The Pittsburgh Pirates are playing out of their mind. And I know I said it's only April and all this stuff, but I believe more in what the Pittsburgh Pirates are doing than what the Rangers ever did, just because a team that's not supposed to be doing these things and they're doing them with confidence, if they get enough steam, they could actually be a surprise at the end of the season. Because the National League, we know the National League East is super strong. I mean, the Braves, after they got, shut out by us, not shut out, but they went 0-3 against us the next game, they trounced their next opponent 11-0, kind of took it out on them. Right. Spencer Strider is up there with strikeouts. But Eric, I love this team. I love the way we're winning. Tip your hat to the Pirates. It's good to see them. Ethan over there. Guys, go check out Lock on Pirates. Ethan does a phenomenal job covering that team. His views are up. Go subscribe to his channel. Go get to know other teams. Go get to know some of the National League teams on Locked On Network, because you want to see, hey, who are the Astros going to play in the World Series?
Something I'm still impressed with, and I can't stop thinking about this. The Astros held the Rays scoreless for the last 19 innings of this series. The best offense in baseball. The Astros just shut the door on them. And Ryan Presley, for the first time all season, after missing a few games, pitched in back-to-back games and got a save. So I believe that was his first save of the season, right? Let me see. I believe it was. His second save of the season. Second save. But, the Astros, things are coming together for the Astros. Hunter Brown, 7 innings. 2 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. The Astros are just getting it done, and you love to see it. And hopefully the good times get rolling when they come back to Minute Maid Park. Hopefully we get some good news about Yordan Alvarez, because it would be nice to have him back in the lineup. That's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. We will be back tomorrow. We'll go and preview the series against the World Series opponent, the Phillies. And my name is Eric Huysman. You can find me at Eric Cox Shows. You can find Brett at H-Town Wheelhouse. We are the Locked On Astros podcast, your team every day, where we talk about Mauricio Dubón. We'll see you tomorrow.
Mountie Truthers.